Hey everybody, it's Dr. Eudene again, and today I wanted to talk about the mind diet. M-I-N-D, mind diet. Now, if you watch a couple of my videos, you've heard me mention about the mind diet, and you're probably thinking, well, it sounds like it's a diet for the mind, right? But what is the mind diet, and what is it all about anyway, and what kind of role does it actually play in the mind? That is what we're talking about today. Hi, everyone. This is Dr. Eudene. I'm a holistic medical strategist and practicing integrative physician. And let's talk about the mind diet. What does that even mean? Okay, so the mind diet is an acronym and it stands for Mediterranean-Intervention for Neurodegenerative Disorders, meaning that it's a diet for the mind. It's a diet that may actually help to support or prevent the neurons in your brain from degenerating. Now, previous studies have shown that eating this way or eating the mind diet way actually reduces our risk of developing Alzheimer's dementia. But there's a new study out that goes a little bit beyond that. And they actually said that it may actually help to make your mind more resilient, because what they're actually saying is that even though your brain may show that you have dementia, eating this way may actually prevent you from developing symptoms of dementia. Holy guacamole, right? So, and actually guacamole might be one of those foods. So let's talk a little bit about that. So some people, what they found is that some people may seem to have the changes in the brain from dementia, like the plaques and tangles that we've talked about before. And this might be after looking at the brain on biopsy. They found that even though they may have the changes that resemble dementia, when they kind of ate in the mind diet way, they did not show clinical symptoms of dementia. Like you couldn't tell by talking to them that their brain looked as if it was really suffering from Alzheimer's dementia. Here are three things that the study did. The study followed about 569 people, older people without any known symptoms of dementia, who agreed to go along with this study. And they agreed to undergo annual evaluations and special memory and thinking tests. Every year they agreed to do this. And they also agreed that if they did die during the study, that their brains can be looked at on the biopsy to see what kind of changes was going on there. And then the third thing, they also, at this point, what the study did was the study every year, the study gave these individuals a questionnaire about how often they ate a specific 141 type of food items, right? And then the researchers then scored these items and gave them a mind score. And what they found was that the higher the score, meaning that the more that they ate these 144 types of foods, the better their memory and thinking skills were, regardless of what their brain looked like. So what they concluded was that this diet seemed to have like a protective capacity for the brain and might actually make the brain just a little bit more resilient. So now, what is this mind diet? Like, why is it so magical? What is it all about? Do I have to eat like grass all day? Like, what is it? Well, the mind diet pretty much has about 15 dietary components. So they talked about 10 brain healthy food groups and 5 food groups that you should really try to avoid. And here is the fun thing, y'all. Here's a fun thing. They didn't necessarily do a calorie count. They didn't tell you how much of these things to have. They just kind of gave a general guidance. And here's what the general guidance says. Okay. First of all, number 1, pay close attention. 3 servings of whole grain a day. 3, that means carbs, y'all. It means carbs. So whole grain, right? So grains that are not really kind of processed. So we're talking about oatmeal and brown rice and quinoa, For those of us who can tolerate wheat, like whole grain wheat products, right? So 3 of these servings of whole grain a day. And then they wanted you to have every day green leafy vegetable, such as kale or spinach, serving of that, and 1 other vegetable, preferably a non-starchy type vegetable. Here's the fun thing. Here's the fun thing. 1 glass of wine a day. For those of us who do enjoy a glass of wine, that's also a part of the MIND diet. Then they encouraged us to snack on nuts most days. So about 4 to 5 days a week, you would have nuts. And then beans every other day or so. And so beans would be like the legumes, right? So we're talking about lentils and black beans and chickpeas, etc. And then chicken, at least twice a week. You can have it more, but at least twice a week. Berries, so strawberries, raspberries, blackberries, blueberries, at least twice a week. You can have it more, but at least twice a week. Fish, at least once a week. You can have that more, but at least once a week. And here's the thing that they wanted you to stay away from. Limit your butter to less than 1.5 teaspoons a day. They also wanted you to very much so limit your servings of sweets and pastries, because these oftentimes contain trans fats, and trans fats have been shown to be damaging to the brain. And then also cheeses and no fried and fast foods. And finally, limit red meats to 2 to 3 servings per week. So that's basically it. So the takeaway point here is that the MIND diet is a combination of 2 diets, and it really is super flexible. That's a good thing. It's super flexible. Doesn't tell you have to eat fish every day or anything like that. Doesn't tell you can't have any carbs. It doesn't say anything like that. It doesn't even say you can't have any red meat. It just asks you to limit that. So it's really a combination of the Mediterranean and the DASH diet. And the DASH diet is one that's circled around hypertension. It's a diet that's used to manage hypertension. So a combination of those 2 diets is combining the best of both worlds and kind of making it really easy and flexible. So they found that people who follow the MIND diet more got more benefits. But if you only kind of sort of follow it moderately, you also got benefits. So the foods in the MIND diet, they seem to be, well, one, they high in antioxidants, right? So we got the green leafy vegetables, the berries. These are super, super loaded up in antioxidants, high in fiber, right? And they kind of limit the foods that may contain high sugars, high trans fats, etc., which have been linked to affecting brain function. And that's primarily it. Look how easy that diet is to follow. So this is Dr. Eudene. Please like and subscribe, and please let me know what you think about the MIND diet. Bye-bye.